Hey everybody, Shaman Hawk here for Shamanic Lodge. So this is another video for the women in shamanic life or going through kind of an awakening at this time. And the topic of this is going to be the collective, the results and the actions of the collective. And when I say the collective, I don't mean, the women gathering in groups. I mean just the collective of the consciousness of the women doing things. And when the earth is in these really sensitive times where energies can really be manifested or amplified very easily because of a wide variety of reasons. You don't have to have the concentrated group like in the old days where they were all gathering around the circle, they were all doing the one thing or so on. You can have the small groups of individual women who are really focused and centered in self, meaning that they're a real truth, their core truth, and they're in their place where they really like to be, whether it's in a park, whether it's their home, at the beach, in the forest, wherever. So they have this alignment in between themselves and an environment that really that's conducive to the power of what they want to manifest, and whether they want to manifest certain qualities in themselves or change the bigger picture on the global scene, there's a local scene. And so there's a difference. You can have a group of women that went through a lot of changes, put their kids someplace or found babysitters, or they had to drive through traffic to get to someplace, to go to this other location, ceremonial site, wait for everybody to show up and everything. And they're not going to give 100% of their focus and everything else because they're on that time schedule. They have to be back, go pick up the kids, take them, all this other stuff. And it all has to happen at this one time. Whereas, and let's say you have 100 women doing that, okay? Often enough, just 10 women really on their own individual time, really doing something that's really working for them in their way, on their time schedule, in their environment, and their prestige, everything is just them. Now, that woman is 100% focused on what she's doing, and she can give all that power into that without all the static energy of preparation, going to and going away from. Okay, so it's really easy to see how important it is for the um, individual practitioner, to have such a great effect on the global scene, on the bigger picture. And this is why I really encourage, when I was traveling a lot before this whole scamdemic and helping women build sweat lodges on their property or sacred circles, turning it, healing, energy healing circles, helping build retreats and things like that. My A lot of it, instead of just saying, "Oh, do this design," is just like, "What do you want? What would you like to see? What would you like to feel? What would you like to do?" And help them make their plan come true. And that way, they're really there, really enjoying and really manifesting 100%. Because I had gone to a couple places and looking at the ceremonial sites, like, why is the sweat lodge here? Oh, because the guys didn't want to move it up on the hill. And there was one case, where I went to a woman's place. Say some guys built a sweat lodge, and it's like, looked like nice lodge. I guess you guys are in a hurry, you know. And I'm like, I would have put it up on the hill. She goes, yeah, that's where I wanted it. But the hill was like this. Okay, so we have to dig it out, and then we can use that dirt to make an altar and so on. Well, we did that, and she was just happy. And man, we had some great lodges there. It just takes a little extra work. Another one I went to, oh, well, that was in Hungary. They had a yurt, but the yurt was kind of falling off the hillside because the guys didn't want to put the work into it, and a lot of girls didn't want to volunteer to help this woman do it. See, you really have to put in some effort to get these great results, people. You have to go ahead and practice strength and make the things happen. Become stronger. All right? It's not that hard. Your body's built for that. Become stronger. And the women who put a little bit more sweat and effort into something like that get the great results, get the positive manifestations they're looking for, and life and the shamanic flow will move them into environments that are more conducive to becoming more connected into their core truth. And this is just, it's the simple physics of metaphysics, okay? So each time one of you women are going through these awakenings and you're looking for a group to hold on to or support, that's actually one of the last things you really want to do, because you're going to get a lot of feedback that really won't work for you. I mean, the women that I know that are going through this stuff right now that are really going hard, some big changes, I just ask them questions about what's going on and get them to tell me. I help them explore their situation a little bit more, and then I can help them get a plan to get together within themselves and this kind of scattered energy to make a clear path into their future. And a lot of these girls are just making these really eerie, smooth transitions through these chaotic times. And I'm like, that's good alignment. That's what a good alignment does. It can have you just sliding through this chaos. And we're talking like severe moves, surprising moves, businesses closing, divorces, and all kinds of stuff. All of a sudden, it can just zip like this. And that's good alignment. That's when you know. When you get these synchronicities really happening, really, really smooth, that's your proof on the physical plane of really good alignment. Alignment in here, in your truth, in your environment, in your plan. I mean, everything. Now you have to escape a little bit of programming like that. Like, oh, it's not supposed to be there. This doesn't make sense. No, a lot of this stuff doesn't. It doesn't make sense in comparison to the programming that you've been fed, force fed all of your life. No, it doesn't make sense with that at all, because all your programming is to like comply, fit in, listen to the narrative, obey the authority. No, real human development never comes from that. It comes from being that wild card, just kind of doing that sporadic thing by instinct. Do I ever give people clear instructions? I'll tell somebody, like, look, yeah, I'm hearing your logic. I'm looking at this. It doesn't make sense to me. However, if you're really feeling good with it, hold on, I got a phone call, then let's roll with it and see what happens. Later on, I'm going to do a true shamanic stories about something like that. That I and one of my apprentices thought it was just ridiculous what we were doing, but it all turned out so beautiful for the community. But I'll share that at another time. So you girls that are going through all this stuff, just hang in there. If you want to talk to women that have been through this process, again, Shamanic Woman on Instagram, and Elisa Glesvalle, who's also Healers of Earth on Instagram. Those are people who made the big life shifts, you know. And I'm gonna get some of the other girls that are going through this stuff, when they get settled in and repositioned, I'm gonna ask them to contribute, to some of their experience, because more and more of this is happening, and I'm seeing it happen in leaps and bounds. It's just phenomenal at how this is going up so quickly with these women and the intensity in which they're doing this. So here, the other thing that you girls can do to really, once the break happens, you have to make some kind of formed plan to build a new foundation. And so we're going into this boost in femininity phase. Well, again, I keep saying that the earth is female, and this female energy wants to, continue with life, because things have been really stagnant the last couple of years. So now this life force energy really wants to boost out like it was back in 2019, man. I was seeing so much great stuff with people, and especially women, just breaking free of the bonds, really coming into their power, just like making things happen. And then, of course, the patriarchal control freaks of this whole industrialized nations complex new world order thing is just like, no, we can't have that. Boom, suppression, scamdemic, disaster, terror, war. No, you can get through that. So you girls also got to make here a prayer is verbalizing your desires on the physical plane, all right, with your voice. So you're saying, this is what I want, this is what I need, and your desires are resonating and vibrating on the physical plane of the earth through your voice. That does a lot, and that's why old style magic was spoken. So it is said, so it'll be. And so do that. That's your. You don't have to pray to anyone. Just do it. You don't even have to call it a prayer. Just speak your truth. Speak your desires. Put them out there on the earth. Because when you girls are talking to the earth, that's woman to woman, female to female. All right, there's a polarity there. There's an understanding there because both of you are the givers of life. All right, and the earth really wants to see life happen because the plan of the patriarchal stuff that's going on now is not a good thing. All right, they're talking world war and all this other. This can be stopped, but again, you got to demand it, and you can demand it by just saying no more. That's it. You just don't want it to happen anymore. And here I got traffic. Anyway, so hang in there. If you like this and you want to share it with somebody, do that. And subscribe, share all that. Catch you guys later.